Have a great day, guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And always remember that kindness is karma. Kindness is magic. So please be as kind to as many persons as you can. And remember to be kind to yourselves. All right? Have a blessed day and keep it locked right here to Sunrise. Bye.
Blessings around us. May not care who like me. Make us a go show love. Far me I come from.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
It's time!
Welcome to High School Pitchside. We have another fascinating episode for you.
More matches, more big clashes.
Let's talk about some of the big rivalries coming up this week.
More of your favorite features.
And trust me, you won't fall asleep in this history class.
And of course, we always want to hear from you.
Hear from your alma mater's players and coaches in Team Talk.
You know we can't leave you out. So send us your messages on social media and watch us react on FanView.
And you know we love a good little debate, right, Gio?
We've got you covered all season long on High School Pitchside.
High School Pitchside, your ultimate guide to all things schoolboy football, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV. Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Deeply personal. Tonight we explore life within the zones where recovery is more than rebuilding, it's survival. We explore stories of experts who've been in the areas. What's working, what's not. Lead Story begins now. Welcome to Lead Story. I'm Nika Lewis. This evening, we're diving into the heart of Jamaica's disaster zones, where the impact of the recent hurricane is still unfolding and the implications are far-reaching. We'll be joined by two powerful voices who've lived and worked through the aftermath. Dr. Jason Mackay, criminologist and crime fighter embedded in Police Area 5. Janet Silvera, multi-award-winning senior journalist. She's in studio all the way from Western Jamaica, where she's a resident but deeply connected to the business and tourism pulse of St. James. We'll explore what life looks like on the ground, what support is reaching these communities, and what happens if we don't act fast enough. Of course, ahead of that, we'll be talking about reaching communities, relief efforts across St. Anne this evening, as members of the Jamaica Defense Force delivered care packages to residents there affected by Hurricane Melissa. This happened at around 3:30 today, and the JDF used the St. Hilda's Diocesan High School as a distribution hub before heading out to several communities in need. The captain in charge of the operation says the team will be heading to Bottom, Middle and Muir House, Buxton, to ensure that families there receive essential supplies as recovery efforts intensify. All right, we continue our discussion right here on Lead Story after these.
Hawkeye, we work hard to develop state-of-the-art security solutions like our new Total Connect smart home automation system that gives you 24/7 access to control your appliances, lights, cameras, and doors using your smartphone, tablet, or PC. As the most trusted electronic security company in Jamaica, Hawkeye has the fastest response times to get to you when you need us most. Trust Hawkeye's Total Connect. Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these four boys dream of playing in the ISA schoolboy football competitions.
Will you score this for Casey? Will you score? It's a shot, it's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield.
Welcome back to Lead Story. This evening, we're diving into the heart of Jamaica's disaster zones, where the impact of the recent hurricane is still unfolding and the implications are far-reaching. We're now joined by two powerful voices who've lived and worked through the aftermath. Dr. Jason Mackay, criminologist and crime fighter, embedded in the police Area 5. He's been all over. Janet Silvera, multi-award-winning senior journalist and Western Jamaica resident. She's deeply connected to the business and the tourism pulse of St. James. They join me now in studio, but I want to start with Dr. Mackay. He painted quite a grim picture of life on the ground in these spaces in his recent article. So I'd want to know where some of the places you visited, Dr. Mackay, and what exactly did you see?
Well, Black River, most of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland. Those are the prime. We've also been to St. James, but the place we've been doing policing activities and disaster assistance has really been in Savlamar and St. Elizabeth, to some degree in St. James.
From the article you wrote, because many Jamaicans may have read from your column but didn't connect the face with the name. So this is the same person, and you wrote about the Gothic scenes and almost apocalyptic experiences.
Yeah, but it has that apocalyptic look to it, because none of the trees have on any leaves, and all of the houses are destroyed. And I was there pretty much 24 hours after the hit, you know, when it was very fresh and when they just started to clear the roads. So the light posts are all down, the houses are all down. There's basically garbage, which is people's homes now, you know, just thrown everywhere, you know. So although I was involved in Gilbert as well. And I was an adult then too, so I know what this type of disaster looks like right across Jamaica. So it's not the first time I'm seeing it.
How do they compare?
Well, Gilbert was island-wide. This is centered on County Cornwall. But the whole thing is that there's nowhere that I saw in Gilbert that was as bad as County Cornwall. But the whole place was wrecked. The whole country was wrecked, which is why I consider Gilbert a bigger hit. So, so the no electricity, the garbage, the massive devastation, the no leaves on the tree, the total, you know, so that just gives the whole apocalyptic look to it, you know.
Well, we're talking about the look to it now, but while it was happening, Janet Silvera, were you on the ground?
Yes.
What happened where you were in St. James?
Well, I was on the hip strip. I live in a peninsula, by the way, in Montego Freeport. So I decided that I wasn't going to stay because to my left is the ocean, to my right is the ocean. So I decided to stay on the hip strip. So I was able to watch the storm from my room, which was on the beach, plus the hotel next to the hotel that I was staying in, to see how badly ravaged it was by the winds, by the rain. It was frightening. It really was frightening. For a moment there, you wanted to just keep out all of that and pretend as if it didn't exist, but there was no way that you could hide from it. I kept praying that we would not have a storm surge. But I believe
with all that water
yes,
around you.
with I think Doctors Cave Beach has some protective reefs that prevented the type of storms that the people in the Iron Shore area got, because there are hotels that are in that area that the storm surge came in on. So some of the lobbies of some of the hotels were flooded. Some of the water that came from the hills, such as Iron Shore, Coral Gardens, came through some of the properties as well.
And these are relatively flat areas.
Very relatively flat areas. And in West Green and Catherine Hall, those people went through the hurricane, felt everything was okay, and after the hurricane came the flood, the mud.
So the mud didn't happen during the hurricane?
Nah, it came after.
We saw some videos, and this would be what, your sister's house? What used to be your house?
Yes, my sister's house.
Right.
Yes. And
so what are we looking at here on screen?
It has been completely destroyed.
My goodness.
Every single thing that is in that house
yes,
has to be thrown out. They have lost millions of, it's a 3-bedroom house.
Yes.
2 bathrooms, living area, kitchen area. All the tiles are now up.
We've saw some of them just now.
There is hardly anything that they can do about it, because they have been working in that mud for the last week and a half or so. And the more they do is the more mud they see.
Where did this mud come from?
It is believed that the mud came from the road that we are redoing, the new highway, plus the Barnet River, which they were working on.
Yes.
So Catherine Hall and West Green is what we're calling ground zero right now.
In St. James?
In St. James. Worst affected outside of South St. James, where we know that they have had it just like, I mean, close to what the people in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth have experienced, because I did go into those areas as well. And he says apocalyptic. Yeah. I thought I saw like an atomic bomb. And I've been having nightmares.
Well, the same
since,
thing, you know.
I feel like that's what happened there. Yeah. And I have not, since I've been to those places, I have not slept a full night. I dreamt about water running after me. The trauma is there. I have a niece who lost every single thing that she had, her equipment, clothing, everything. She's unable to speak about it because I think maybe she's in denial. She needs therapy, obviously. So we will have to get therapy for her.
So there is none of that currently being offered on a wide scale there?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. In fact, somebody reached out to me today to say we're to remember the blind people, because they too have been affected. I've been helping people who can't walk, because I'm looking for people who can't help themselves. the most vulnerable in the community. And many of those people live in Catherine Hall and West Green as well. Older people living alone could not help themselves to get out of their homes. Like my two sisters are not very young, but they're not very old either. But they didn't even know that the water was coming into their homes because the rain had stopped. Everything seemed okay, but the mud was coming down from Barnet River or from that area. And so they knew nothing about it until their neighbors shouted and said to them, get out of the house now. And by that time they couldn't even find the key to get out of the house.
Well, you know what? It's a sad thing to hear and relive. I'm sure it might re-traumatize some people, and that's not what we're hoping to do. But it's good to hear what so many of our brothers and sisters here endured during and after the storm. We'll take a break on Lead Story. When we return, we're taking a deeper look at the implications of what could happen if help doesn't get into these places quickly enough.
For Jamaica. Yeah. Yo, what are you?
Oh man, none of that. No, brother, no, man.
Can I see you ever play ref? No, game,
yeah, but I look a bad game. No, I said, person who come from, brother, I want to live good, man. I want to live good, brethren. No shake on, I can play a little bad, brethren.
Really have to shake on?
Yeah, man, and no badness, brethren. Just live good, man.
Come together as one and make the violence done.
Visit VC's Electrical Sales today at 21 Mannings Hill Road, Kingston 8. Come see why VC's Electrical Sales is your go-to for quality electrical supplies at great prices. Check our website to see a sample of our products or call us for the full inventory at 876-622-9800. VC's Electrical Sales, also known as VC's Electrical Depot.
Everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Welcome back to Lead Story. We are talking about life in the disaster zones, impact and implications. Joining me, Dr. Mackay, criminologist, and Ms. Janet Silvera, multi-award winning journalist. They've all been into the disaster zones. Janet lives in the disaster zone of St. James, and Dr. Mackay has been visiting and assisting with the members of the Area 5 team in sections of the impacted parishes. Well, Dr. Mackay, before the break, we heard from Janet about the horrors that were endured. But how, pray tell, will these horrors impact policing in the days to come?
Oh, significantly, because the dislocation alone is the problem. And there's so much dislocated persons are going to be moving to other places, and they're going there desperate. They're going there broke and penniless and homeless. And gangs are there waiting to take them in and manipulate them. And that's a big problem, you know. And so, the movement of persons is where the first thing, and I'm seeing a lot of movement. I'm seeing people leaving St. Elizabeth in significant numbers, and they become very vulnerable because they're going with nothing. So they become vulnerable to their own family members they're going to, but they're also moving into communities that have the gang-dominated communities, and they're going there poor and disconnected. So you find that is how you form new gang members. That's how gangs grow. So that alone creates problems, you know. And then there's also the, how things things that normally persons can earn from, they can't earn anymore because industry has been destroyed. So the type of crime that comes from poverty, which is not gang crime but other crimes, will start to show its head soon.
We've been hearing a bit about looting. Have you heard or seen any of those?
Well, when Area 5 is down there, obviously they can't loot because policing is in the area. And the looting did take place initially. But I think the JCF moved really quickly to put their foot on that. So I haven't seen a lot of it. There have been reports of robberies of persons being stopped and then being robbed as a result of stopping. And this is the problem when charity is being done in this very disorganized manner. It's great that everybody's chipping in, but the actual machination of moving all those goods to who needs to get it, it's really a very professional activity, and there are professionals in the field like Food for the Poor, Father Ho Long and so on, and they've been doing it for decades. Sometimes it suits you rather than just driving down there and giving away on the main road to go to these persons who are involved in professional charitable distribution and give them. I guarantee you, it'll reach where it's supposed to reach. But what's happening now is you're giving the same people every day, and it's not reaching to where it's supposed to reach to because you yourself as an individual
I see
don't
Janet
understand
nodding
charity.
to that. Is that what you're seeing in your space?
Yes, because most of the people are the ones that are in the town center, while the people who live in the interior or probably the same parish, close to where it is, but they're just not in the town centers. But it's a matter of trust as well,
Okay.
Why some people will not give their goods or care packages to an agency.
But that's why I mentioned the two that are unquestionably. They have no issues with those two. I mean, the Mackay Security movement of goods is being done straight to the actual, through the parochial political framework.
So you're using the councillors?
We go straight to the councillors. Okay. So we've done most of Southwest based on what they request. So we can't say, if you say you want 100, I will give you 100. That means you needed 100. No, and we've now extended to Black River. We did Black River today with Ian Miles. So as the councillors contact us, we supply the tarpaulin straight to them. And we're confident that in an environment like this, they have to give them out. And they will ensure that they are the ones who really know how to reach people. Remember, they're dealing with parochial voting. They have to go in little hills and valleys to get their votes, unlike MPs that are more general voting. So we are doing our distribution through them.
Yes, but that the people are asking you to help them to rebuild more than bring care packages. No. That's what I got as well when I went into St. Elizabeth last week.
That's why we said tarpaulin. So if you're a councillor in Cornwall and you're affected, contact Mackay Security.
Can look right there in the camera.
Contact Mackay Security. You can send me a WhatsApp on 3824669. I'll go through your MP to make the contact, and we'll see if we can assist you with tarpaulins if you're in the affected zones. But we're doing specific tarpaulins. We're not doing anything else because so many other people are doing things that will carry you from one day to the next.
How about the removal, the extraction? I've been hearing people talk about the possible extraction of the impacted families from the zones that are now in shambles to potentially public spaces like the arenas and those places.
A refugee camp.
Something you also mentioned.
Well, yeah, I think it should be available. Will they take it up? No, more than likely they won't. But it should be available, and because that way you also control how human waste is dealt with and so on. Because there are environmental and health issues that are going to happen if we continue to leave people living in the bush with most of the pit toilets having been disrupted. So there's a health issue there, but. As persons are there, and as you go day by day, you're seeing them gathering up the wood and starting to put back up the frames, which is why the tarpaulins is what we're trying to push. Because at least it gives you a 1-year roof if you use it over a 14-foot room. You can create a roof that's some degree permanent. It actually will last you for about a year, believe it or not. And it's a temporary roof, very temporary. But if you don't do something if you don't at least have the refugee camp available, then some people are going to still be in the shelters. It's very hard for you to secure 182 shelters to secure people from themselves. But if you have one big refugee camp, you can police that properly and make sure persons are safe there.
So things like we've been hearing about potential explicit and illicit activities that may take place in some of these camps?
Well, everywhere needs to be policed, you know. You have dislocated persons living in a shelter. You don't have enough police officers to man every shelter. But if you move them to, God forbid, the National Stadium or the arena or somewhere like that, then you can police that environment. And it have to at least have it available. A lot of people, majority of people won't take it up, but at least it's available.
All right. Ms. Silvera, you've spoken about some of the concerns that you as a resident have, you know, social implications, health implications.
Yes.
What's the greatest fear on the ground and the greatest need?
Greatest need right now is rebuilding. The people, for instance, there are two communities that I'm very concerned about. Catherine Hall, West Green. When will they bring in water and wash out those homes? When will those people be able to even go back to a quarter of a semblance of what they had before? Because if they continue to live like that, the possibility exists that mold is going to take over their homes, and that black mold is known to cause cancer. That I know. I'm very worried about the health issues that's going to face a lot of the people who are currently living in the mud.
I know it might be a stretch, but what is the atmosphere among the hotel stakeholders in Western Jamaica at this time?
They are trying to help their people more than anything else. The hotels want to get back online because there are people who still want to come to Jamaica, even though what is happening is that, yes, it's true. Oh, people still come into Jamaica, people still want to come to Jamaica. But we need to at least look at it as if we are able to take care of them while they're here. Yeah.
I remember they're saying that hotels, you know, that are not as badly affected, that can facilitate tourism as well. They're St. James Hotel, which can facilitate. I want to believe even Sandals White House is operational, based on what I've been seeing down there. I never have visited myself. So I don't think we're no longer a destination for a tourist visit. You know, I think we're still in the market. But we have hotels that are down, and they're down hard.